my name is Harry the Hippo, and I want to introduce Grandpa Ken, David, Stewart today. Uh, these guys, my two friends, Kermit the Frog and Harley the Hog, they never even introduced me yet. And that kind of hurts my feelings a bit. But today they said I could be the one to introduce Grandpa Ken. Oh, we're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry, little Harry. Uh, we didn't mean to leave you out, but sometimes, we just get too occupied with what we're doing and we forget about our friends. So, kids at home, don't do what me and, and Harley did. We forgot all about our friend Harry the Hippo, and it kind of hurt his feelings. So always be sure to try and include your friends in everything you do. And don't leave any of your friends out because it can really hurt their feelings. Well said, guys. That's absolutely true. Don't leave your friends out, kids, because it can really hurt their feelings. You can really make your friends feel good when you include them in all your activities. Okay, today we're going to continue again with the Twit by Roald Dahl. And today's episode is called The Funny Walking Stick. To pay Mrs. Twit back for the worms in his spaghetti, Mr. Twit thought up a really clever, nasty trick. One night, when the old woman was asleep, he crept out of bed and took her walking stick downstairs to the work shed. There he stuck a tiny round piece of wood, no thicker than a penny, onto the bottom of the stick. This made the stick longer, but the difference was so small the next morning Mrs. Twit didn't notice. The following night Mr. Twit stuck on another bit of wood. Every night he crept downstairs and added an extra tiny thickness of wood to the end of the walking stick. He did it very neatly, so that the extra bits looked like a part of the old stick. Gradually, but oh so gradually, Mrs. Twit's walking stick got longer and longer and longer. And when something is growing very slowly, it is almost impossible to notice it happening. You yourself, for example, are actually growing taller every day that goes by, but you wouldn't think it, would you? It's happening so slowly you can't even notice it from one week to the other. It was the same with Mrs. Twit's walking stick. It was all so slow and gradual that she didn't notice how long it was getting, even when it was halfway up to her shoulder. "That stick's too long for you," Mr. Twit said to her one day. "Why, so it is," Mrs. Twit said, looking at the stick. "I've had a feeling there was something wrong, but I couldn't for the life of me think what it was." "Oh, there's something wrong, all right," Mr. Twit said, beginning to enjoy himself. "What can have happened?" Mrs. Twit said, staring at her old walking stick. "It must suddenly have grown longer." "Don't be a fool," Mr. Twit said. "How can a walking stick possibly grow longer? It's made of dead wood, isn't it? Dead wood can't grow." "Then what on earth has happened?" cried Mrs. Twit. "It's not the stick, it's you," said Mr. Twit, grinning horribly. "It's you that's getting shorter. I've been noticing it for quite some time now." "That's not true," cried Mrs. Twit. "You're shrinking, woman," said Mr. Twit. "It's not possible." "Oh, yes, it jolly well is," said Mr. Twit. "You're shrinking fast. You're shrinking dangerously fast. Why, you must have shrunk at least a foot in the last few days." "Never!" she cried. "Of course you have. Take a look at your stick, you old goat, and see how much you've shrunk in comparison. You've got the shrinks. That's what you've got. You've got the dreaded shrinks." Mrs. Twit began to feel so trembly she had to sit down. So Mr. Twit has thrown quite a scare into Mrs. Twit with his nasty old trick. Okay, we're going to continue tomorrow, kids, with another chapter from the Twit. So you guys have a good night.